Since Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, has been micromanaging her for the past 13 years and feels like he's done nothing wrong. He's gone through everything Britney's done. Why don't we start going through what Jamie's done? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and Jamie Spears, man, you are despicable. Many people know this, and so I wanted to take two threads I saw going out there, and I wanted to bring them more attention. So Your Honor out there on Twitter, good congrats, noted Your Honor, put out this thread a couple days ago. I'm begging for Jamie leaks. Jamie drinking, abusing substances in the last 13 years. My DMs are open. Please, not only there, send them here as well at Andy Signore. Let's really uncover the truth about Jamie Spears, shall we? In fact, I want to help also the Britney Law Army, another amazing resource. If you guys aren't out there, support, go show them some love. But yeah, instead of attacking each other, let's focus our time on attacking the merits of Jamie Spears' opposition to his removal. If he argues that no cause exists under California probate for his removal, here are the 10 causes for removal. Tell us which one applies to him and why. As you go through this, there's already, so much here that already should be deeming Judge Penny's reaction to say, yeah, let's get rid of this guy. Failure to use ordinary care, diligence in the manner of management of the state, failure to file an inventory and an account without. There's so much. Failure to perform duties, incapacity to perform duties suitably, felonies, gross or immoralities, such an interest adverse to the faithful performance of duties that there's an unreasonable risk that the guardian or conservator will fail faithfully to perform duties. Anyway, a lot of stuff in here that I feel like he's already done. But if you want to go through, go check this out and learn all of the things that we could and should be gathering intel and information about. So Britney's team has a very easy job proving Jamie wrong. So let's start. Let's go back. And Jamie Leaks, I got to thank you set this tone up. And here's one from Free Britney, who posted this video that was on Vimeo. That was recorded by someone named Lambie on Vimeo with Jamie allegedly drinking and driving. So as I went through this document and watched it all, you guys can go find this document and watch it, this video rather, and watch it yourself. And thanks to Steph, the Alter Nerd, who tipped me off on this one out there. She was helping me gather some of this. At the 55-second mark, which is about here, he finishes his pint. You can see there. He's finishing the pint around there at the 55-second mark. And then we fast forward to about 1:43. He's got another bottle of beer that he's finishing off. And then when we go to 2:09, which fast forwards a little later, he's finishing off another pint of beer. And then leaves, as this has shown. Now, 6 beers in 2 hours would make a male over the legal limit. That would put him 3 beers in 1 hour. So take that as you will, as he's stumbling out, talking to the press. Actually, not talking to the press, as they're trying to get him to talk, as he's stumbling out of the bar to his car. Ignores the press, doesn't really engage.
Fancy meeting you here. How's Britney and everything?
Doesn't acknowledge, doesn't say anything, gets straight back in his car, drives away. Look, take that as you will. But this was allegedly, again, right after conservatorship. But this wasn't the only time. In fact, there were several times where he was caught drinking while still, and badly so, DUIs, etc., while he was the conservator. But let's go way back. Now, I don't point this out to, look, alcoholism is a serious thing, and it requires serious help, and there's programs out there like AA and other rehab facilities that really can help people. It is a disease. It's a problem for a lot of people, and I do not, by any stretch of the imagination, want to, salace, you know what I'm saying? That's losing my. I don't want to overdo this because it is a legitimate problem. But the reason I bring all this up is because we have so much, of our microscopes on Britney, and there's a lot here that we've been ignoring about Jamie, and the judges have as well. And I don't think it's right for clearly someone who's having trouble recovering from alcohol be in charge of someone who is allegedly also recovering from substances. And as you go through this document, this is a story from the Daily Mail about the time Britney Spears' dad pulled a knife on me. He shares this pretty awful story way early on in Britney's career. This was before everything sort of started picking up. It took place in March 2002. Britney was still fresh-faced, but I managed to escape after Jamie and his bodyguard escorted me to a local bar. They needed to buy me more beer. So there was a whole thing where they wouldn't let him leave. Jamie told him, "There's not a man." This is all drunken conversations that he's having. There's not a man alive couldn't be happier than me. I got the most famous daughter in the world. Squandered my money on wild women and beer. Britney is focused. She's been a star since birth. I still build, but I do it when I feel like it. Drunken hugs, yada yada yada. All the reason I save this is for, he was aggressively not even let this press guy. In 2002, he had severe problems with alcohol. This is noted by him. And look, a lot of people have serious problems with alcohol and they fix themselves. And good for everybody out there who's sober, who's struggling with that and have stayed sober. I applaud you tremendously. But the problem here is he hasn't. 3 months after becoming the permanent conservator, not even the temporary, the permanent one, he got a DUI and tried to sue because of it. There's a mugshot. I can't actually tell if that's real, but if it is, that's insane. If it's a Photoshop job, no, but that might actually be real. In which case, does that number line up? No, it doesn't. I think this is a Photoshop job, but it's a good one. He got arrested for this DUI of alcohol in 2009. Attempted to sue, and then just tried to sue the police. Furthermore, aside from all the alcohol problems and continued arrested DUIs he's had, where he was caught driving under the influence, not a good look for a conservator. He's also a liar. I mean, we've caught him again in a lie. Jamie tried to put a dip into a crash wedding during his time of crisis. Now, you remember, as I've reported previously, that time of crisis that he keeps saying, "Well, I wasn't responsible." The Bart Simpson defense, I call it. I wasn't there. Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove anything. I didn't do it. It's like, dude. He's claiming from December 2008 through March 2019, while he was recovering, his powers were all Miss Jody Montgomery's. Yet here's someone proving, nope. Here he was, loved getting celebrated with the Covingtons. Joanna, you were stunning, having fun here. Thanks so much for making my bucket list come true last night by letting me meet Mr. Spears. And the date on this was March 10th, 2019. So this would have been like March 19th, March 8th, early March, when he's claiming he was out rehabbing. Couldn't do any affairs. Well, he made it to a wedding. Interesting, Jamie. Interesting when all of Twitter can be out there and actually help prove you're a lying scumbag. Look, it wasn't even just Jamie. Jamie was allowing all these, he always claims Sam Lutfi was the one with all these bad influences. Well, here's an alleged email from Britney, where she speaks about Larry Rudolph, her old manager that she tried to fire numerous times, James kept bringing back in. And she even says in this email, that you can go look up yourself here from Bryson Lightford, who posts some interesting stuff as well. Make sure, a lot of this is still, you got to do your more homework, but I want to give you sort of the resources that are out there and the allegations that are out there. Here she's writing, I do feel like Larry Rudolph influenced me in some of my behavior patterns. It's really strange to have a manager send you to rehab. Who's the main one giving you drinks? He also knew I was getting rid of him the day before you guys had a plot to send me away. Larry Rudolph is shady, but again, just proves the point of who can you trust? Well, Jamie's crew is apparently fine, even though they're giving her alcohol. Again, more evidence to say why Jamie wasn't a good person, as he's still, wrestling his own demons. And now I don't know how legal this is. I guess they're allowed to do this. I don't know if people can help educate me, but also leaked documents show that he was spying on her phone night and day, checking every call and text message, at one point saying you're not allowed to drink Red Bull. It's just showing sort of the amount of micromanaging, controlling that he says he doesn't do. Add to that, this is where things get really crazy. I'll let you read this headline yourself, because I got to be careful with these words. But yeah, look what he did to Jamie Lynn, allegedly. Yikes. Now, this is like an out of context photo, I'm sure, getting through the press. But I'm really scared. I'm reading Kabbalah. I'm really scared he's going to do something crazy. This is January 2009. Crazy when Jamie Lynn tried to be emancipated from mom and dad. He blanked her. You have to tell my lawyers to make sure I'm in an environment that's safe. So, again, right a year after everything happened, she's making it clear that this stuff happened. And I'm sure we'll get a lot more about this as the courts and everything continues. Jamie, you're in trouble, man. All this is easily provable. And the most provable, which you keep trying to hide by blaming minor children, so this should remain sealed. Not sealing this. And on August 24th, Mark Kaplan, K-Fed's lawyer, we're going to talk about Mark Kaplan as well in the future. But Mark Kaplan is the lawyer. And I constantly am always wrestling with who's to blame, Mark Kaplan or actually K-Fed. And I've had people like Sam and others tell me, no, K-Fed, he doesn't really know what's going on. The more and more I'm covering, the more and more I'm unhappy with K-Fed, because even if he's stupid and not paying attention, you should be paying attention, and you need to be apologizing like immediately if you're not really paying attention. However, this Mark Vincent Kaplan lawyer, I don't know, he seems scary. He seems scary in the way that, maybe K-Fed just wants to stay where he's at, keep the kids where he's at, and has a similar worry Britney does of them taking things away and if making his life harder. Doesn't make it right for what he's doing for Britney, but I don't know enough of the backstory. But I will agree. A lot of you come at me and you're like, Andy, you're being too nice on K-Fed. It's because it's her kid's dad. It's hard for me to attack that guy, but I have no problem going after his lawyer. And his lawyer had to cover up this attempt and use this to get K-Fed more money and more time when Jamie Spears was caught in an alleged altercation between his son and Britney's father. Now, this was a big deal. Now, I've heard some things about this, and I'm just trying to figure out the best time to sort of share this because I think it's important. But there is a reason this moment happened where Jamie lost it with the kids, and it's a big one. And at some point, I'll find a way to release this information. Again, what I think allegedly after talking to some sources and things. But beyond what actually happened, what we know happened, he pushed the kids around. And it got so bad that both Britney freaked out and K-Fed also freaked out. And K-Fed sued and demanded, limited custody, which affected Britney. So again, Jamie doing things as a conservator that affects Britney, abusing her kids, and then prompting Britney to lose more time because most of the time that the kids have, Jamie has to be there too, or Jamie takes some of it. It's so sad and depressing when you realize how much custody stuff she seemingly lost, all at the hands of Jamie. And then Jamie lost her more because he got aggressive with his own grandkids, which I'm sorry, I don't know why that was okay. Well, Mark Kaplan helped who's friends with Jamie, helped sort of like, you know what, we're going to get the money, the custody, we have a restraining order, we're good, we're not going to follow through on any charges. It's sketchy as HE double hockey sticks. So they didn't follow through on charges. But even Britney herself was like, I just don't understand why. I don't understand how this can even be a thing. But it was not Kevin's desire, according to Kaplan. It was not Kevin's desire to see Britney's father, Jamie, be prosecuted. Mark Kaplan said to Page 6. Police report initiated was only for the purpose of obtaining production, or the police report was only there for protection orders for the children, and those remain in place. Federal line was granted a restraining order against Jamie on behalf of his two sons, and they're not proceeding with an investigation and declined all criminal charges against him. So here you have this moment, which to me is the most damning of all of it. I mean, DUIs, everything else awful. It's not okay. All of that should have been enough. But then you have this moment where he's caught doing this to his own kids. And Britney even said at our most recent the hearing, where she finally spoke up, I don't understand how someone who has a restraining order against his own grandkids can be trusted to be in charge of my conservatorship. It makes no sense, guys. It makes no sense. And Jamie wants to hide this. Jamie's trying desperately to keep this down. And I think, I hate talking about her kids. I know she doesn't want to talk. Guys, this needs to be talked about. Jamie Spears has a restraining order against his own grandkids. Like, that's a fact. That's not like, blah, 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 blah. It was just a little thing. Who on earth, how on earth is that ever? And, it's just a little understanding. No, he has a restraining order against her grandkids. And in order to watch Britney, you got to watch her grandkids. This point alone should make him have him walk. But Judge Brenda Penny didn't think that was needed. Judge Brenda Penny, who's out there getting on Twitter, and her son's getting on Twitter, Prentice Penny, I see you. All of them are out there on Twitter. Oh, this is blah, 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 blah. Brenda, what were you doing? What are you still doing? This is insane how long you've been ignoring this. You knew the grandfather has a restraining order against the grandkids. And Britney doesn't want him there. It's time for someone else. But no, why? Because it's all connected, guys. It's all connected. So look, I wanted to put this out there because I want to encourage this. Jamie leaks. If you got him, send him over. In fact, I have someone who wants to remain anonymous. And I've verified a little bit of this, but I'm still waiting for more. I'm trying to get this person on. This is a person who from Louisiana, same age as Jamie. Mentions knows a lot of stories about the old days of Jamie and what Jamie's been through. Now, look, I don't want to judge him by his old days, but apparently even through the new days, so much they sucked her dry. Speaking of Britney, too long, it's enough. But Papa was busy partying till she started making the money. Why couldn't Jamie Lynn get birth control at 14? So much in here ranting and raving about how he'd pick up all these girls at the rack and all that very detailed stuff that seems to be. I don't think this is a random person trying to badmouth him. Jamie calling Britney must be mean. He's her pimp. I hate that old bastard. I got a lot here, and I'm hoping to get this person in, or if anybody else has intel on this, I'll keep you anonymous. I just need to vet that you're real. But Jamie Leaks, hashtag Jamie Leaks, let's get him in here because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of Jamie being all high and mighty. I'm only doing what's best for my daughter. I've been a loving father and conservator, and I need to make her work because that's what a loving father and conservator does. No, I'm done. We've been doing a lot of work, Free Britney. We got a lot more to do, but let's get Jamie Leaks happening. And thank you, Britney Law Army, also for putting this out there. There's a lot we can do to unite together and not fight. Let's get this done. Jamie is not out. He wants to get paid, guys. Can you imagine his best interest for Britney? I got to get paid before I step down because I didn't do anything wrong. It's insane, guys. So let's keep on this. Lots more coming, lots more coverage, lots more topics. If you got something you want to hear, please hit me up on social media. And while you're here, can you please double check that you are still subscribed? Hit that subscribe. Hit the bell for all alerts. You make sure you don't miss a video. Smash that like button and leave a comment down below to help the algorithm and engagement of this channel. So appreciative of you. I got a big project coming. Free Britney fans, I told you to send a photo, and I hope you did a video. If you got a video of you holding the sign, please email it to me at popcornedplanet.com. It's popcornedplanet@gmail.com. Apologies. Popcornedplanet@gmail.com. You can email me a video you holding the sign, Free Britney. You're going to have serious FOMO if you miss this one. It's coming soon. I hope in the next couple days or maybe early next week if I might have a good score to make it even better. So stay tuned. So much coming. Thank you guys so much for watching here on Popcorn Planet. Hashtag Jail Jamie. Jail Jamie. Hashtag Jail Jamie.